All right, welcome everybody. It's Round 10 and Round 10 CCG. I'm trying out a new headset, so if I sound crazy, let me know in the comments and I can fix it. If I sound good, let me know. I don't know how this is going to work. They said this headset is good, but then again, like the salesperson, like he kept like shaking his hands a lot, so I don't know if he's being very truthful to me or if he's just trying to make a sale, and I was kind of in a rush. So we'll see about that. But anyways, we are here to talk about ClashCon. So again, we're going to a brief overview about ClashCon. Then I'm going to talk about what I believe is some of the decks that you definitely see at ClashCon, and what decks that you possibly can bring to counter the meta and sort of be up. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Oh, what is my chat saying? All right. I mean, that should be good, right? Yeah. Welcome to the chat, my guy. All right, perfect. So we'll get right into it. Just kind of go a brief overview for people who don't know what Alpha Clash is. What have you been doing for the past year? I mean, I feel like Alpha Clash is one of the games that's really taken off. I know a lot of people say that, oh, it's like a small community for it, but I say that's how things get traction. You get a small, loyal fan base, and it just continue to grow. Like that's called natural growth. I don't want to see like, oh, we're paying for stuff. I love the fact that over the past year that everything for Alpha Clash has grown so much, and now we're on the eve of our Pro Tour. What we call a Pro Tour, like would it be regionals or would this be nationals? Because what are awakenings and what are classrooms? Like, what would you actually categorize? Somebody jump down in the chat. If someone knows in the chat how to categorize everything, please let me know because I want to say awakenings are what? Like, I know it's tier two, but how would you classify that for other people who didn't know? And I want to say again, ClashCon has to be maybe internationals, and then Worlds is Worlds, of course. But again, the biggest tagline here is this is a weekend you absolutely won't want to miss. Oh, I feel so bad for you. I know a lot of people say they can go. This is just a pro tour. All right, so again, going over some things here. Again, we have a lot of event sponsors and partners. So Prime is provided for drinks for attendees. I'm definitely getting my Glowberry. Glowberry is so good. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about Prime all day. That's just weird. Logan Paul's not gonna watch this. The Quest snacks. Again, I love Quest snacks. Perfect pack. If you have been to New York Adventures, you've seen the perfect pack. It's kind of what you put your cards in. Definitely works out. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll say Zelka. Zilka. It's providing card storage item for prize support. I might just buy some in general because I think these boxes look very great, especially me, who I have about 6 decks on me at any given time. Our level subs will be accepting PSA submission, including your new class card exclusive promos. So again, if you into getting submissions or graded cards, this is a great place to kind of bring in your cards you want graded. And then House of Cards will be selling Alpha Class singles and extras. I do not think they'll be selling product, but know for a fact they definitely will have singles. I think Josiah did put somewhere that they're not buying singles. I'm not sure, and I don't know if I'm going to be buying singles. I guess we'll know when we get there. And then Showcase providing deck boxes for door prices and giveaways. This makes me happy. If you don't know what showcase deck boxes are, they're amazing. First of all, they're just very high quality, and I love the fact that you can just display your contender right here. Really good. It kind of reminds you of the Star Wars deck boxes, but a little bit smaller. And then of course we got events and special guests. We have Ridge, we have Al, we have Wade. That's it. I thought we had more. Oh, then Josh is there, and then the dev team, Alpha Clash TCG Common Content Developmental team. So that is Quinn and Jason. They both will be there. I think Jason will be there. I hope Jason better be there. Trade night and social events. So this is basically where you can trade all that fun stuff. I know I'll be participating in trade nights, and we'll go over some things to bring with you for these trade nights to make sure you're prepared for this. And of course, Josh will be there as well. And then we got some panels and QA sessions here from Rising Empire Studios, tournaments and side events, Pro Tour, and I know there will be an Awakening on Friday, so that last chance qualifier to get into Pro Tour. And then side events are going on all weekend, and then, of course autographs and photos. That part's gonna be fun. And as everybody has seen, I've seen the playmat for ClashCon features Genesis. Genesis definitely shaved his beard. I wonder what Genesis look like with the beard. If anybody's is an artist and you can add in a full goatee and a beard to Genesis, I would love to see. I just want to see him with a full beard. And then some confusion is going on, but the contender is double sided. So this is a double-sided contender where one half is the IA, the other one is exclusive one. I think this is really dope to have. I wish I could get more than one copy. I think if anything I will buy, I will 100% buy these off people if you don't want it. But Genesis to me is one of the best contenders out right now. All right, and then get your hands on first ever double-sided iconic contender. We just talked about that. Now here is the fun part. This is what we're everyone is playing for. Everyone is trying to get, which is the pricing. So, first place, you get $3,000, 12 booster boxes, so that's a full case, champion promo card, top 8 playmat, top 8 promo card, participation promo, tier 3 and tier 4 invitation. I believe that tier 3 is what will carry over to the next year. August, we'll gotta get some clarification on that. Second place is $1,750, 8 booster boxes, top 8, promo, tier 3 invite. Look at the money part is going down. Third and fourth get $1,000, half a case, and then everything else. Fifth through eighth get $750, 4 booster boxes, and so on. Ninth through 16, $375. I think this is a very attainable goal because basically, if you make it to day two, you're walking away with at least $375, which in turn, like how cheap, I'm not sure how cheap everyone got their hotel for. I got mine pretty cheap. This will pay for your hotel. And of course, if you win, it just pays for everything, which I feel like everyone should be striving for this. And then 33rd and, on get the participation promos. But looks like their grand prize, big prizes are up to 17th through 32nd place. That's not bad. And then also just getting that Covenant Tier 4 invitation is definitely wanted so you can get to Worlds next year. All right, so then attendance schedule, or this is kind of worded weirdly, but general admission for ClashCon is free. So isn't day two just top 8? I believe it's top 16. If it changed, it might be in the attendance thing, but I believe I've seen it before. It was top 16. If they switch to top 8, then day one is going to be ridiculous. Cause I think it starts at either 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. That is a lot of Alpha Clash to play, especially with how wild Friday is going to be. That is going to be a full day. General admission is free, which is a cool thing. So 3-day admission to Clash Con. So again, you don't have to technically pay to go there. If you're just going to have fun to be there, only I pay for, of course, is your flight and your hotel, which can be a big expense. We're not saying it's not, but you don't have to technically pay to be there. You can be there just to enjoy ClashCon. So again, if you have friends that are maybe that didn't compete or don't want to compete but they want to bring them along for free. Let them play around. Let them play in the side events. Okay, and then ClashCon VIP. VIP is $50. And so we'll break down. I'm going to break down the differences between these. So the VIP is 3-day admission to ClashCon, which is free, but then you also get that ClashCon exclusive playmat and double-sided contender, and you get two. You get admission to two side events, which includes Pro Tour and Wham. Wham is winning master set for anybody who doesn't know. But it's $50, and you get the basically you get good things, which is again the admission to two side events, which kind of pays for itself back in. And then Pro Tour is $75. Do not purchase both of these. If you're playing in the Pro Tour, you only need to purchase your Pro Tour ticket. That is $75. Do not buy the VIP and the Pro Tour. Reason why I'm saying that is you get your ClashCon exclusive mat and your ClashCon double sided and your Pro Tour participation promo. And you also get an entry to Awakening on Charlotte. If you want to play on Friday, you can do that too. If you buy both of these, I do not believe that you will get double the Clash Cloud exclusive match and contender. That is something I do not know. That is something I would not say to even risk because if you do it, it can cause confusion. So again, if you're not playing in Pro Tour, you just want the VIP, just pay the $50. If you are playing in Pro Tour, go ahead and pay the $75 and get you everything. All right, and then the Awakening Charlotte is $10. Last chance to qualify, one for Pro Tour. I say this is not bad. If you just want to play and have some fun games, you can definitely pay for it. Again, there's some stuff going on side events. This seems fun, especially if you're coming in Thursday, want to get some games in Friday. This is really fun to do. And then you can purchase your tickets now. Again, if you're not purchasing tickets, go ahead and buy them now. But I do believe that they are accepting payments there at the convention. I do not know if it's cash or if it's card only. That is something that's information I do not have. So Garrett, if you are in the chat, if you could drop that down, is it cash? Okay. Okay, so Garrett confirmed you will not get double. So do not try to be sneaky because that's a conversation that no one's had, and then everybody can clip this right now and say you will not get double. All right, and then Garrett, can you confirm will cash be accepted or is it strictly cashless? Because I know when I travel, I like to keep some type of cash on me, especially for tips. I like tipping with cash. I like tipping on card. All right, accommodations. Who hasn't booked their hotel yet? So I'm going to go ahead and open up the hotel and let's see if there's still anything that's still inside of our block for this. This is for Friday through Sunday. I know a lot of people are leaving on Monday. I don't think I can update. I can't. All right, it looks like we still have a couple of rooms, but they definitely have went up from when I booked mine. Cash or card? Okay, cool. Thank you, Garrett. So again, king size beds. So again, I have honors discount, so I get a little bit more in there. Um, Food wise, I don't know if breakfast is provided for free or you have to pay for it. But if you do want to go ahead and get breakfast included in your stay, you can go ahead and put that in. I know I went ahead and added breakfast to my room just because I want to be able to eat, get my workout done, and get ready to run around Clash Count like my chicken head cut off. Absolutely, it's gonna be so much fun. If I fall, nobody better take a picture of me falling. Because when I fall, I make sure it's dramatic. I will fall and roll, and I'm taking the table with me. Yes, I guess that would be pretty funny, but I'm telling you right now, I will fall into anything I can see, and I will try to grab onto anybody I can see. Because I'm too old. I'm 32. I can't fall no more. My knees cannot take it. But again, you don't have your room booked. Definitely get in there. Jake, welcome to the stream, buddy. Again, like, who hasn't booked their room yet? I feel like this is something you should definitely always do, especially with Hilton, where you don't have to even pay until you get there. Like this is something that again, like when I first heard about this, oh no, Jake, don't you know? I'm telling you, when I fall, whoever's in my vicinity, I am grabbing and I'm asking for help. You will see the fear in my eye as I fall. I'm too old. My back can't take it no more. All right, so that's kind of like it for the hotel. I don't want to spend all day talking about hotels. I know what you guys are here for. You want to see what's going to be at ClassCon, but we'll get there. We're not there yet. We still got some more fun stuff to talk about. Or if you want to get with some friends, they do have two queen beds. I don't know when I travel, I have to have a king. I like to be comfortable. I like to spread out, and I like to do weird stuff like jump on the bed. Like don't ask why. It's just always fun to me. I feel like whenever you go to a hotel, you got to jump on your own. You got to jump on the bed. It's just tradition. It's weird, but it's what I do. All right, so here is the schedule. I mean, to be honest, it's us. We're Alpha Clash. We're gonna try to skip to the schedule, but everybody, the biggest thing is have fun. So I know a lot of people are getting in Thursday. I believe you can check in on Thursday, but do not quote me on that because I do believe that Josiah is handling all the check-in. But let's just say wait till Friday to check in and check-in starts at 8 a.m. and it goes all day. And so 8 a.m. Friday, you check in, registration opens, 8 a.m. all day. Our commission's Wade King. Booth, so we'll have booth time. It will be TBD. Wow, Wade is going to be doing stuff from 8 a.m. Oh, that man be tired by 10, guaranteed. Autographs, Ridge, Al, and more. Um, I'm not sure who's on Sharpie detail, but I feel like we should have at least 6 bags of Sharpies because I feel like we'll run out. 9 a.m. Side events all day, so you have draft, sealed, and constructed. Events will fire all day as pods get filled. It's gonna be $5 to $10 per side event. So again, Friday. Again, Friday is the fun day. Thursday, everybody's getting in. Friday is the day to really get there and celebrate Alpha Class. Like, this is where you want to come in and have so much fun. I'm excited for the 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. side event for Wham, which is win a master set. And looks like it's going to be different master sets you can win at different times. So make sure if you have these, to pick these up, print them out before you go, so that way you know which draft or what master set you're going into. So for the one at 9 a.m., it's going to be for a Year of the Dragon master set, and it's $20, and it's positive 16, 4 rounds of Swiss, and top cut to 4. That doesn't sound bad. Um, I'm not sure if it's BO1. I would say from 9 to 3, maybe BO1 might be great, but I might some days from that. I don't know. We'll probably talk about that the Thursday. I don't know. And then the Awakening, Charlotte, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So again, this is for your last chance. I know we're asking people, if you don't have a tier 3 invite, try if it's enough spot, let other people play. Because you already have 6 tier 3 invites, there is no point for you to go and win this. So what you get for this one is finalist playmats, promos, tier 3 invite, top 4 who don't have them. All right, and then $10. So it's gonna be $10, which is not bad. Pops of 16, switch to top cut 4. Now, this one makes me super excited. From 2 to 6, another Wham event is going on. And please, whenever you go into a Wham, you have to sing a Wham song, because that'll just make Josiah so happy. But it's $20, and this one is for Unrivaled. So it's set 3, master set, same thing. So this is weird. So this one is single elimination, but the other one is 4 rounds of Swiss. I'm not sure if that got mixed up, but we could probably fix that up. Again, I would say print all this out just so you have it. From 5 to 7:30, this is when you can take photos with Ridge, Al, meet the creators, software finishers who don't have an invite, get them, everyone welcome. Okay. And then from 5 p.m. to 7:30, meet the cribs out Clash Universe, take photos of the team and your fellow Clashers. So again, this will just be fun. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Looks like we get a buffet dinner from local barbecue restaurant. Uh, okay, are they called local barbecue restaurant, or that's just okay? But it's $20 per person. But it's a buffet for barbecue. I like that. And then from 8 to 10, design and direction, Rich Kelly, CEO Quinn, Jason, State of the Union presentation Q&A. So again, if you want to know about what's coming in 2025 and beyond for Alpha Clash, you definitely want to sit down with this one. I would say bring your questions, and this will be $20 barbecue for a barbecue buffet. That's cheap. Like, that's super cheap. I mean, I don't. My biggest question is, because I am that person. I like to bring my own Tupperware for reserves. I don't get kicked out. But that's just some humor. That's some barbecue humor. But from 8 to 10, this is basically, again, you want to know anything about Alpha Class 2025 and beyond. This is definitely where you want to go and sit down and talk and ask questions and just see this presentation. I feel like this is going to be the highlight of Friday, and what really kicks Alpha Clash and ClashCon off. I mean, granted, all day everyone's going to be having so much fun. Here's an important note: from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. is trade night, free plays, so you can play, do some things, and it's a cash bar. So if you are a drinker, cash bar, they might have cards there. I don't know, but just bring cash. But again, this is why I say this time frame can be so dangerous, because if you're playing, you have to be ready to play, like ready to go at 9 a.m. So if you are a drinker, maybe a couple of drinks with the guys, maybe have a couple back, a shot of Hennessy, maybe. But in Mario Kart 2, I'm going to try to bring my Xbox because I need my win back on Ridge because he embarrassed me in front of all my friends, and I couldn't do nothing but go to sleep. Like when you get beat so bad in the game, all you can do is take a nap. You're so I couldn't even talk smack 'cause I had nothing to say. When this man had a kill streak going on me, and my controller's like, stop playing. You don't got it. You're not gonna beat this guy. And then Saturday, 8 a.m. check in. So again, check in 8 a.m. But again, you're there Friday. Definitely want to check in on Friday. That'll just kind of save you some time to really make sure your deck is good, sleeves are good, all that fun stuff. Looks like Wade is going to do art commission. Yeah, yeah, Jake. No, he bodied me. I ain't never been so humbled in my entire life because all day I was talking smack, like all day I was on 10, and he set his controller up and he said, "Cool, let's play this map." I said, "Oh, Rich, I got you." I ain't have him. I came out the gate and got sniped, and then I felt like at one point he switched to a handgun and was murking me with a handgun. I didn't want to play no more. I kept trying to make excuses, and I didn't have no more excuses to give, so I took a nap. And it was 10 o'clock at night. I took a nap because I just didn't want no more smoke. Okay, Pro Tour, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. It looks like it is switched to top 8. It is going to be a long day for Alpha Clash. You're going to be tired, but don't worry. I have some tips and tricks to stay awake and stay fully energized for this long day of playing. And then side events are going on through all day. We do get pizza from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Free pizza from a local restaurant. Like that's awesome. And of course, you do photos and then after tournament again, trade night, cash bar, free play, just having fun. And then Sunday, Top Cut is going to start at 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, side events are going on the whole day. And then from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., award presentation ClassCon wrap up. Again, it kind of depends on how you book your flight. Again, I know a lot of people have to get back. Maybe they have to go to work on Monday. Hopefully, everyone booked a later flight. So that way you can get the wrap up of everything. And again, you know your schedule better than any one of us do. Bring a coffee pot and Waffle House coffee too. And be honest, Jake, I've never had Waffle House coffee. But again, I did just try Waffle House for the first time this year, and it blew my mind that I did not eat Waffle House my entire life. Waffle House is delicious. It's goaded. Now, somebody who I definitely want to just keep going out to eat with is Hoss. Hoss is the greatest person to go out to eat with because he just says, "Bring me whatever you want on the menu," and he will eat it. It's fascinating to watch this man gamble with his stomach this way. All right, so that is the Clash Garden schedule. So before I get into the decks, here is something I feel like is just very important to bring. Ignore my cart. My cart is the most random cart in the world. I know everybody can see it. I have random stuff in here. Ignore my Amazon addiction. When you're going to any kind of trade event, I feel a nice binder is really good to have. So on these Vault X is something that I use. I do love it to bring my trades in. Again, I like to have the pockets on there. Definitely bring a Vault X or something similar on the Vault X because again, I can put my play sets in there. So a nice, safe, secured binder, heavy duty binder for your trades organized is really good to have. And also, if you're looking to offload some cards, I feel like this is a very good start. And right now, it's on sale for 29 bucks. If you don't have one, definitely just go ahead and grab it some before you go out there. Or even when you're out there in North Carolina, 'cause again, we're taking over North Carolina. Alpha Class, I will always say that we're taking over North Carolina. Let's show North Carolina some love. We're coming out there. Let's show them some love. Let's buy some products from local game stores. Let's talk about Alpha Class, get more stores involved. A laptop bag or just a bag to bring your stuff in. This everyone, I feel like everyone has something like this, but get like again something heavy duty, something to keep your headphones in, something to keep a charger for your phone. Again, we cannot guarantee there'll be a lot of charging places around. So we need to have a way to make you need to have something you can charge your phone with. I always suggest portable battery packs. things like that. 'Cause again, or you can leave your phone up in your room. Definitely some paper and pen for your life total, because again, this is a tier 3 event. And I do believe, if I'm remembering the rules correctly, electronic devices are not legal to keep track of your life. So again, having a bag with all your stuff in there with not pocket secured is a good thing to have as well. And then of course, some nice shields. Some nice, I know they're not shield sleeves, but dragon shield, you know what I'm talking about. Bring some extra sleeves. Even if you don't have some, if they can't fit inside your travel one, buy some at the booth. So that way you can at least have some sleeves. If you get sleeves get damaged, they get bent, the corners can get hit on there. The last thing you want to do is get a DQ going in the top cut because of your sleeves. This is something I feel like is the best thing to invest into. $13.98 right now on Amazon. It's not a bad price. All right, we talked about things. Also, again, water bottles. Drinks will be provided, but also bring some water bottle, bring some granola bars, and that gets you some nice Quest snacks. Just where you can have something to eat in between rounds. And always say the biggest thing is we're taking over a new city. We want to be respectful to the city. We want to be respectful to the hotel and their staff. And we want to show that Alpha Clash is a game that anybody can pick up and play. It's a game where everyone is invited. And how I preach at my tournaments or in my live streams is we definitely want to show respect. We don't want to go around cussing, using vile language, vile gestures, and things like that. We definitely want to be, I don't say on our best behavior, but we want to definitely show people why the Alpha Club community is probably one of the best card game communities in the entire world. Like we just hit Dubai, Philippines is going so strong. We're starting to branch out to so many places, so we definitely want to be able to show that hey, Alpha Class is a great community. This is why you should play it. We want to give respect to the staff. We want to give respect to all the devs. We want to give respect to RES. We want to make sure we're showing respect to everyone so everyone has a good time. And also respect your opponent. A lot of things I don't see a lot, but I have seen a couple times is people being degrading or rude to their opponent. You don't want to do that. If someone makes a mistake, call a judge. Don't try to fix it there. Don't try to belittle them when the judge come over. Raise your hand, get a judge over there. Let the judge, for this event, let judges do their job. Whatever a judge ruling is, if you want to take it to the head judge, absolutely do that. But you want to be respectful to everybody. Again, we're meeting with a lot of players that maybe you haven't played against, who maybe not know what their personality is. You want to be very respectful to everyone there. And that is my PSA going into ClashCon. Because again, we do not want to make anybody feel like they shouldn't, they don't belong. Because everyone belongs in this game. Now, main event time. Let's talk about decks. Now, everyone uses play the Alpha Clash, and there is a new mod. I don't have it queued up right now. I do apologize. The new mod is pretty dope, by the way. I just don't have it queued up. So I always say this is probably one of the best places you can go, or even YouTube channels, to see what people are brewing. A lot of people won't show their main decks for tournaments, but if you look at some of the players on here, you can kind of piece together what they're thinking about playing. So everyone knows Lee. Shout out to Lee in the chat one. Can I get a Lee chat started going chant started? I can't speak today. Can I get a Lee chant going in the chat? Because Lee does do a lot for this community, and I don't. He gets a lot of recognition, but we definitely want to go ahead and give him some more because he has been holding down the virtual side of Alpha Clash for the better part of the year. But we know what Lee's going to play. Lee's going to play Pestilence. So we know for a fact he's playing Pestilence. Like, this man has played Pestilence, I want to say, set 2, set 3? And he's on red green. So he posted this one. And do I believe this is going to be Lee's deck? Yes. I 100% believe this is going to be Lee's deck at ClashCon. If it's not, I will be surprised, but this is 100% what I'm going for. This is what he's playing. So again, we know Pestilence, it wipes your board out without ever having to really attack. So we'll pin that down. So we know a Pestilence deck or Pestilence cards in general or green in general, they're gonna really do a lot of damage to your cards without ever attacking you. So that's one thing about this meta, and that's what's why it's so great. We're going into a new meta with Genesis Returns just coming out over a month ago. Next big deck that we'll see. Again, we always want to look at different decks that we've seen have won. So this is the first play Gen Con Awakening. This is from back in August, and he'll play on War. This is a deck that I truly feel a lot of people are not respecting enough, which is the Green White War. And this is on Legion Commander. This Legion Commander does have a errata on it, but just breaking this deck down, it's all about doing high damage while controlling the field and having a massive hand. So they have things like Haven that can draw, Pestilence that can deal with cards, Mayhem Maker that can deal with the contender and drawing cards, Conquest that can just swing into things that are not expecting. So again, someone attacks with a Haven, this is gonna swing over it. And it's just gradually building. It has a right curve going all the way up to Kagen. And as we know, once someone starts hitting Kagen after Kagen, it's a very hard way to deal with it. So let's just break this deck down. We'll start breaking this deck down. The deck is very, very strong. It's very consistent, but there is one big flaw with the deck is that you continually draw your high-powered cards when you're not ready for them. There's really no way to filter them out besides putting the resources and you're digging for your lower cost cards. But again, by the time you get some, you should be on a good curve. But the biggest thing is a lot of times they are trying to go for their higher cost cards where they're not able to go, past ones and here and here and here. They're dropping down Tyrant because they ready to get ahead of the game. They're dropping down Sonoro so they can go ahead and get the extra draw to get in Kagen. So how do you deal with a deck that is constantly ramping to those big numbers? And I would say the best thing to do in this situation is not worry too much about the early game. I know some people say, oh, but to give them advantage, you give them advantage. Hear me out. Because if you're so focused on spending your resources to deal with the Havens, deal with the Pestilence, this deck is going to draw no matter what you do. All it needs to do is play a Haven, a Pestilence Maker, or attack twice. The deck is going to draw no matter what. Pestilence is going to draw. Sonora is going to draw. You trying to stop their draw is not going to do anything. So how do you interact with that? You start targeting their bigger cards. When you see a Pestilence come out, you take out the Pestilence. When you see Tyrants come out, you take out the Tyrants. Take out Kagen. So you start taking out their big hitters and then leaving them tapped out. And then since you played a trap card on their turn, when it comes back to you, you're able to build your board up. Yes, they can cog in you, but that's just going to happen. And then your next turn, take it out. So you want to definitely look at cards, removal cards in general. And I think some of the best removal cards right now are like Plague Sprayer. You have Deliverance, which is still always going to be good. You have a lot of different cards and different color schemes and get rid of stuff. Shocking Revelation is probably one of the best cards to clear a board. If your opponent is sitting on a Pestilence, they're sitting on a Tyrant, and they cleared your board, Shocking Revelation them, punish them. Because you can take away, you can go ahead and take away their cards on the board. You can then rip a card out of their hand, maybe a card like maybe a Kagen or a Pestilence, so it sets them back. And that's what you want to start thinking about against these decks like this. Again, if you're not preparing for if you're trying to play the game, if you're trying too hard to deal with the early game, once you get to late game, you don't have anything. You used it all, and now you're in a bad predicament. And time timing is everything. All right, let's go ahead and look at some others. Um, and I'm telling you, you probably want to write this stuff down. I'm giving you guys the sauce. Al Green. This sounds hilarious to me. Um, it's a deck called Al Green. I had to look at it. So it's a Kagen deck. I said before, Kagen decks are very easy to deal with. It's just all about being patient. Biggest thing you gotta deal with in a Kagen deck, in my opinion, is Lone Fighter. This deck is fully mono green. Again, it has Dragon Hell, the Dragon Scale, Fire Mage, Shields, which again, most people are going to only play 3 copies. Kagen does have skill to get weapons back in their hand, but to really slow them down, it's all about picking one of these weapons and just targeting down. Every single time it's played, you target down, you destroy it. And the best card that I truly, I'm gonna open up a new tab. Sorry guys, I have some stuff on my computer that I cannot show. But I would say the best card to use, especially against a Kagen deck, that a lot of people are really are ignoring, is Death Overseer. Death Overseer is the one cost black, and again, we have a lot of bound cards, so we're able to really play around with our decks now. So, Death Overseer is once per turn during your primary phase. May send a clash card you control to Oblivion, which can be her. And if you do, banish target card and target plays Oblivion. The portal is open, banish 2 cards. So, if you're popping these weapons and you're keeping Kagen kind of above that life so you can't get it back, you can drop down Death Overseer and then go in and banish out their key pieces. And now the whole deck falls apart. Granted, this particular deck does have some nice heavy hitters. Like you have Lone Fighter with that 8. You have Kage that can blow up things. But the cool thing about Death Overseer, it is a flight card. It's a real cheap flight card. And that's how I would play, and that's how I would think about how to deal with Kage. All right, let me know in the chat what what's another deck that you want some more insight into and how to play around it. Torque. All right, I'm gonna be very biased on Torque, and that's because I think this Torque deck is amazing. And then watching it being played, I gotta literally scroll down almost a month ago. This, nope, that's not it. Where is it? Uh, Stand by. And I'm looking for it. You've been torqued. You know what? Let's fall on this one. All right. So this thing looks like it's a mono red torque deck. All right. Yeah. I always establish that these are my personal opinions. You may not agree with them, but again, it's just my insight on it. This torque deck looks like it's just very heavy hitting, very control. So you got like deflect, clutter, damage, connect, blast. Here comes the boom. So we're doing a lot of damage with it. Again, this one, I would say the biggest thing is just not getting hit with that boom torque combo, and that's definitely utilizing your sharpshooter things to really get rid of this torque. Pestilence is good. Anything that can remove a 1 cost without dealing non-clash damage to it would be really very good. The rage cards in here are very awesome too. I don't. This one I'm not a fan of. Let me see if I can find another one. This is one that I feel. I wish I could search community decks. This one, I seen played at the Two Awakening, and it was very. It was new. It was played in Columbus, but just kind of seeing this deck in person and seeing how it played, it made me think that hey, there's more than one way to play Torque, and here it is. This is Mike Toy's deck. All right, so Mike uses black red. So he capitalized on using the suit up and also using torque stuff. So again, he is going in with flight. He is running some cards with undisputed, which is actually really good. The port is closed, can be defeated, creating some tokens and stuff like that. Again, the biggest thing about this, about any torque deck, unfortunately, is how do you deal with the torque boom combo? It's very, very hard to deal with. In hindsight, you can have a game plan, but again, good players will hold those torque and boom combos until you're tapped out. As soon as you tap out and they have five, you're getting boomed. But it also some players can play boom just kind of just clear your board. So how do you deal with that? How do you get around it? I'll tell you. Sharpshooter is one good card. Get rid of turf before you can get there. But and I can't remember the name of it right now, but this is another card that I feel, especially if you're playing black or even if you're playing blue, you can do Shocking Revelation too. But this card is phenomenal because it's very cheap. I just can't remember what it's called. And I will find it. Give me 1 second. I should have had this all queued up before, but I know I can go this deep into my analysis for everybody, but I don't mind doing it. It's fun. Purging Heat is probably one of the best cards to have. Purging Heat, what it does is, it's a counterattack. You discard a non-class card from your hand, then you target an opponent, reveals their hand, choose a non-class card, play this card. So what you can do is very early game. If your opponent is holding on to their booms, you can purge and heat them, get rid of it. Another amazing card, and this is what Corey did to win, is Cybernetic Recall. It's a counterplay. So you can basically, I use the word chain, but you can chain this to Here Comes the Boom. And what it does is return all class cards with a resource cost of one or less to their owner's hand. So if you're afraid of getting Torque Bone, especially if you're playing blue, you're playing Genesis, this is a great card to put into your sideboard. Because when they go for that boom play, you can play this card, throw that Torque back in their hand. Now they yes they clear your board, but they get zero benefit from it. And then now you can go, like I said, if we're about any trap cards or any kind of quicks that I feel like are better, you can now go to your turn and find ways to just really beat them down. And the biggest thing about this deck, you definitely need some accessory moves. Again, getting hit with suit up and heavy power armor connecting to any of these cards is dangerous early game. Again, if it's on here, you're swinging for 8. Here, you're swinging for 5, 7, 5, 7, undisputed. Like these are very powerful cards. And again, things like Paul to move those weapons around freely is very dangerous. Then we have Weapons Depot as well, Denver for the extra damage. Again, this deck is very, very. Again, I feel like the torque stuff is here to distract you from the real threats, which are these alpha hunters. And again, and then also the Machina Master Metal coming in for the end. Again, this is just power for each accessory you have. Again, those Nova tokens, the weapons help, all the things are kind of coming in. And again, he was running Sharpshooter and Purging Heat. And then also had Grasp of War in the sideboard, which Grasp of War is really good against any kind of flying. And then to the depths. All right, another one I want to take a look into. Oh, filters right here. Um, so let's look at some of Haas's deck. Haas has been putting up a lot of cool stuff. This one he got top four in, and this is Genesis, and this is blue green Genesis, which I feel like a lot of people are starting to gravitate towards playing. I would say Genesis, in my opinion, is one of the hardest decks to play against, and let me explain why it's so hard. Because they essentially have two hands. They have their regular hand, and then they have their resources, which count as another hand. And things like Haven in the deck, things like I am creation. These are just accelerating energy into your resource. I mean, they're accelerating resources every turn. And then you have Shock and Revelation that can clear a board and get rid of a hand. And of course, over you can draw or get more resources. You have Presence that just basically blocks an attack. Sadistic, the new buff, just takes your biggest card and put it into your resource. You never catch it. So if you're not playing Genesis, this card is very detrimental to you. Um, Soundwave to block more multiple attacks. Magnate's Plan deal with accessories. I would say again, this list is very solid. A list that I'm playing is a little bit different than this one. I don't have a lot of just heavy quote unquote hitters. I have a lot of tech cards that can activate from my resource. So mine is very trap eccentric, where I'm using a lot of some of the best traps in blue and green to really disrupt my opponent. And I am trying to get consistently 5 resources by turn 3. And once I get that, I'm pretty much in the driver's seat for the rest of the game. One card that I do like again is the Cyberman Recall. That's what I will put into that's something that I will put in the sideboard just to deal with the Torque Boom combos. All right, chat, give me another one. This is fun. Let me know what other decks you have problems with at your locals or in testing that you just want any kind of insight on. Normally, I'm playing music right now, but last time Genesis went ahead and gave me a copyright strike, which was kind of rude. This is a fun deck that I built. It's definitely a glass cannon. I don't recommend anyone take this to any tournament. This is something you play with your friends and make them go, haha, look what I can do. Like the whole thing is using I Am Demise to bring back high powered cards very early on and praying they don't have I Am Demise. Because when you take 9, it's terrible. Tell me how to beat the best of the best Krung. Okay, let's see if I can find me a Krung list. Um, this one kind of terrible because it's like 18,000 Lord Krung cards. Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is the third place Manila. This happened back in wow. Why does anybody have no updated Krung list? I mean, I get it that Krung didn't get a lot of support, but Jesus, like, come on, everybody, we can play some more. We'll look at this one because it's the latest one after 5 days ago. All right, so let's take a look at Krung. Oh, this is nasty. Green Black Krung is diabolical, by the way. Biggest thing about Krung, and this is what trips up so many people. Sorry, Ryan. I know you don't want me to give away your secrets. Is portal control is number one. You want to be able to control that portal, but then it's like, okay, cool. Do I build my deck to counter Krung, and what cards should I include in my sideboard to deal with the portal? And the answer will always be Rizlock. Keep 2 into your sideboard. Sideboard 2 in between matches if you lost the first one, or even you did win with the second game. Keep 2. That's all you need. Again, like the mulligan rules in this game is so amazing. And it's like you don't want to always be like, oh, every turn, let me pay resources or let me discard risk lock to close the portal. Close the portal when it makes sense. And that's something I keep preaching to everybody is don't do things just to do it to take away tempo from your opponent. Because at that point, you're playing into their hand. Why are you paying 2 resources to close the portal if you have no way to continue your game, wait until this. I guess it's something for me playing Pokemon. Because in Pokemon, when you build your decks, a lot of times you'll play one or two cards that counter the meta, but you play it at the right moment, and that's when it's devastating. Another point: stop letting Krung players set up Ruthless Warlord. If they get three Ruthless Warlords on, it is going to be the toughest time you ever had. Remember, this is just giving +1/+1 to every discarded cards. Stop letting them set it up. Get it off the board as soon as it touches the ground. Blow those cards up. As you know, Morak is there. They're going. So again, a lot of times people go Morak. They're going to search out these Krungs, and they're going to start playing the Krungs. They're going to start playing Gurs, and at that point, you're pretty much taking 5 damage to the face. Stop letting people get 3 Krungs on board. If you're letting Krungs get on the boards, you are losing. Christian, I'm going to do Machina because I know the sauce to beat Machina. And a lot of people are going to be like, no, no, no. But it goes back to how I'm preaching everything. Is your sideboard gets us at 10. We won it at 15. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's all about playing your cards at the right time. Stop playing into your opponent's what your opponent do. Wait. Take a second. Play the cards when you're ready to go for the win or really ready to make a play. And again, Krong, easy thing to do. Sideboard into wrist locks. Stop letting lower Krong sit on the field. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, they can bring stuff back. They have ways to get it back. I thought it was the same card. Huh. Okay. I do like the depth in here because they can just basically discard those and get those out for cheap. Then you have 2/3 coming at you. But again, deal with if you take out the Krungs from the deck, everything else falls apart. You can easily deal with these 2 calls, 3 calls, 1 calls. You can deal with them very easily. Like they're very easy. Again, the problem is the lower Krung. Now, to cap this off, I know a lot of people are afraid of Machina or trying to figure out ways to deal with Machina. I can't go into full detail, but a lot of people who are with the Rogue Contenders, they pretty much know and are prepared to deal with Machina. They're pretty much ready to deal with any Machina, but the Machina we're going to talk about is the one that has terrorized the meta since Columbus. And why is it not here? All right, here we go. And we're going to look at Corey's deck. The Corey's deck was very, very good. And then Corey, 100%, I would say this Corey did the right thing with his Machina. He made sure that his sideboard contained cards for the current meta. Again, he played the 7 Recall to deal with the Torque Boom combo, Manix Plan to deal with any kind of suit up decks, Lone Fighters as board get wiped out, Pestilence to make opponent discard cards, Rainforest, the bomb plays. So again, his sideboard was very, very solid. But if you notice, his sideboard is only running 2-to-1 copies of cards. I know the biggest thing is consistency, consistency. Okay, but if you're drawing, you're playing decks right, you play these cards at the right moment. You don't need 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And the biggest thing is playing the cards at the right moment. So the best cards, unfortunately, is black. And a lot of people not wearing black, but again, you have bound cards. You can play black in any deck. And unfortunately, the best cards to beat Machina, it goes back to a card that a lot of people are not thinking about, and that is Death Overseer. And I will keep playing with Death Overseer. A lot of people say, "Oh, but Machine can destroy it." Well, then you're not doing the card correctly. You're not playing Overseer to attack. You're not playing Overseer to deal with flight. You're not playing Overseer and passing turn. You would use Overseer to start banishing their weapons. I mean, their accessories. You start taking these accessories out because Machina is going to hurl them at you. You're going to get you here for 2. So again, this list, he is running for 8, 12, he's playing 14, which is a little bit higher. Most people are running around 10 to 12. He is playing a lot. So against this deck, it'll be a little bit more difficult, but you're using Overseer to banish them. Again, you have 4 Overseers in the deck. Technically, you can go ahead and banish 8. So it takes out almost over half. So when they get rid of these and they get them in the discard, banish them. Because the only way they can get them back is with this Haven. So if you're banishing them, Haven has no target, especially on their turn 1 or turn 2, when they're going for the try and true combo of hitting you with a land or hitting you with pestilence, or bring out the Haven, do action ramp, and then to wait for the die to bring these back. Play Overseer, banish it, banish all of their important pieces. All right, next thing, you have to know what cards to stop. This list is playing land and havens. So you don't see the 1-drop pestilence in here, which again, it worked very well for Corey. So when you see a haven, because this card right here is the threat. Land is not a threat by herself. Yes, you can go ahead and throw things, get 2 damage. Like I said, just kind of save yourself a little bit. Save a little bit of cards in your hand. But when Haven hits the board, kill this thing. Get rid of it immediately. Do not let the ramp happen. Do not give them a chance to grab their weapons back. And then start banishing it from their oblivion. When they start going to the higher card cards, 4/4, at this point, start really playing around that. And once you stop Machina's early game, it's very easy to keep poking down this weak 25 body. Because in day it has 25. I feel another good deck that's really good. I feel like one deck that is bad for this deck is 100% Shadowlight. Shadowlight is good, yes and no, but the 5 cost and 3 cost Shadowlight is terrible for this deck because now you have, all your cards are targeted to get killed by these. That don't do that. Play a lot more defensive cards and save your 1 and 2 cost cards when you've dealt with the threats. Shackle Revelation against this deck is also very, very good. That is the biggest thing against Machina is stop playing their game. Start getting rid of their resources before they can get rid of yours. Stop going, oh, I see a land, I'm going to go ahead and sharpshooter. Wait for the Haven. Be patient. The Haven comes out. Get rid of it. Drop your Overseers. Start getting rid of these weapons from their oblivion. Use some cards to let you look at their hand. Again, Heat is a great card against this deck because all you have to do is discard one from your hand, look at their hand, get rid of their cards. Also, another great card is Resurging Fire. Make your opponent discard a card. Oh, my headset is really about to die. Well, this will be the last part of it. Use Resurging Fire. Go ahead and I say again, use these cards to truly get like win them down their hand, bring back their cards. Again, you want to bring back their fire, go ahead and pay 2, bring back their haven. That's going to be awesome. That's the type of stuff that you want to do, and that's how you play against Machina. So it goes back to the point where I said before. No, you cannot prepare for everything in the meta, but you can build your sideboard with maybe 1s and 2s of cards to go in for those matchups. And with the bound cards out now, you have so many different ways to add those other cards to your deck. So again, we look at some of the bound cards now, and no matter what you're playing, where's my bound traits? There we go. Bound. You have so many different ways to look at different counters and different colors and incorporate it into your deck. So again, like if you're playing red, You can add this one in. It gives you red, black. Now you have some black. Playing white, you have some black. Again, there's ways to add in colors to use cards to really help you in those situations. And like I said, I find the bound cards coming out is amazing because this is how you get your counters. This is how you deal with the meta. And then people say, okay, what about when Kagen comes out? I'll show you the best card to deal with Kagen. And that's always going to be Embrace. And this will even activate if they play Magnet the Tyrant. Now your opponent is forced to discard 2 cards or send that card to Oblivion. And it's all about timing. Play this. Would you play this card? Somebody has 8 cards in their hand. Would you play this? No, they don't care about discarding 2. They'll discard 2. If they have 3 cards in hand, now they're going to think a little bit more. But yes, that is what I have. This is what I feel like this is how you really, really kind of get prepared for it. I would say the best things to do is look at the bound cards and then look at different traps, different I'll say more like traps and quicks to use in this current meta for your sideboard. And because again, you can with your 10 card sideboard, you can go, hey, these 3 cards are for my Krung matchup. These 3 cards are for Torque matchup. And these 4 cards are for the Machina matchup. And you could, again, a lot of times, again, I feel like a lot of decks you're going to see there, Genesis, you're going to go ahead and see Pestilence. You definitely see Pestilence. Lee's going to be this. You'll see Pestilence. And kind of look at cards that can really help out. Again, like Assault Rifle. It's a card that I feel like you are running Alpha Hunters. This is a nice card to have because, again, shoot 3 targets, you deal 1 damage to each of them. It can be good. And then you have things like Balance of Power, where you can unattach all of the attached target class card. This is a nice card again if you're playing against Alpha Hunters. Again, this is a very Alpha Hunter focused deck, or you playing against Ling. This will kind of set them up too. Um, Bear Luck next time is a good one. What's a good counter for Genesis if you're running white blue? What's a good counter if you're running white blue? Oh, uh, I'll be honest. You really don't have a counter. You kind of have just ways to survive. And but I will say white has some of the best survive cards out there. Like me, I think one of the best combination of cards. Again, I know you probably not wanting green. Ancient Power and Dragon Helm is an amazing combination because Dragon Helm cannot be destroyed. Ancient Power banishes an attacking clash card, and you target a weapon, and it can never come back, and the weapon is still in play. So Ancient Power I feel like Ancient Power in general is a great card. Um, so I did talk over that a little bit, but I'll go ahead and do that. I am wrapping up the stream. Right now, I do believe it is Genesis, Torque, Machina are your top 3 right now, and then you have Krung, and then Torque and Pestilence can be interchanged. Those are I would say those are the top 5 in the meta. Do I believe they're the top 5 contenders? No. I truly feel like Death is a contender that outclasses all of them except for Genesis. Death outclasses Genesis. I feel like does not outclass Genesis just because of the fact that they're trying to deal with 2 hands, and where Black Judge deal a lot with direct hands, and Genesis can a good Genesis player will play it with no hand. They would just use their resources as their hand. Clarity is, again, I would say one of the best generic contenders of all time. Another great card to kind of help you out if you are using white is Control the Situation. Let me explain. Control the Situation is you engage one of your clash cards to engage a clash card that's being played. This card is very, very well, especially if you're playing against Lin. You can go ahead and rest it and do all that fun stuff and get rid of it. All right, let's see. Deliverance again is a nice counter card. And then also Earthly Barricade. This one I kind of got from Jay Crane. It's a choose target class card. With the next 2 class damage, you gain 2 health. It is a nice card. It's from quick, so it's from hand. Yeah, controlling situation is amazing, and a lot of people are not playing it. And I'm like, why are you not playing this card? And like, no matter what your excuse is, but my question will always be, but why are you not playing this card? All right, so what we'll do is we'll go through each color and we'll go over some of the best cards to kind of think about putting into your sideboard, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the night. And if you want to play men, go ahead and play men. And then also Saw You Coming. Saw You Coming is the last white card. I feel like it's very good. Again, I feel like this is more trap based. Um, Meta that you need to be really focused on playing your traps and really focus on playing quicks. And Saw You Coming will stop anything trigger enter effects. And if you just really just want to be that guy at the table, you could 100% play Skill Drain. I forget what it's called, but it is the new 3 cost card. It is a relic, and it negates all trigger enter effects. But also, please be aware, yeah, interfering with the process. Please be aware, if you want a bunch of trigger enter your effects, don't play this card. It affects everybody. It is skill drain. But but again, if you're mad, if you really want to stop a lot of trigger enter effects, just play interfere with the process, and it shuts completely down Machina. It shuts down Torque. It shuts down the lens. It shuts down so many things. And it's a 3 cost and assist there. And a lot of times people are not playing assist removal, and they probably won't play it till after ClashCon. All right, Black. We kind of went over some good cards that I definitely believe will be amazing. But yeah, it's great. So again, we talked about this a little bit before. I keep going back to Death Overseer. It is probably one of the greatest cards that's been printed in this set that a lot of people are not realizing how good it is. A lot of people look at it, oh, it's a 1/1/1 flight. It'll get destroyed. Oh, land will destroy it. Who cares? You want to be able to get cards out of the Oblivion. If you're playing against Machina, why would you not target their accessories? When they shoot those accessories at you for 2, you drop an Overseer, you banish them. Now they have no way to get it back. Now they're Haven they worked so hard to get. It's just sitting there. But we're playing good, so we already killed the Haven. So we killed the Haven. Our turn, we dropped Overseer. We banished their weapons. Now they're behind again. Another good one. I feel like Death Dreadful is just good because technically deals 4 damage. It's a good card to have your artillery. Um, Disorientation is a good card too. I feel like it's very expensive. Enter from Beyond is okay. Another good card, I do believe, I Am Demise. And this is why I feel like Death is one of the best contenders that people are just not realizing how good it is. I Am Demise for 2. You send a clash card to Oblivion, then you target opponent's clash card, and you send that to Oblivion. It's Deliverance for 2. Yes, you give up one of your cards, but again, Death wants her cards to get sent this way so you can draw. And then the best thing is the portal is open. You may put a clash card without them arriving from Oblivion in the clash zone, and a good combo to clear boards. Say if you play a 1-drop Pestilence, -2 for something. I Am Demise, send Pestilence in the card, bring the Pestilence back. 2 again. I'm just saying, this is why Death is one of the best contenders that nobody's playing. I Am Demise is the strongest I Am card. All right, and then the last black, I would say again, keep Loud Blitz in your arsenal. If you're having your deck, don't take it out. Maybe take it on to two now. But Loud Blitz is still a great card to have in your arsenal. Major Dean is a great card to have back there too. And Morak is a good searcher, no matter what. And then also Purging Heat. If your opponent is sitting on booms, you're Purging Heat them, you get rid of it. For blue, if blue will load, all right, so some good cards we have here for blue. I Am Creation. I'm got the Europe. Better Next Time has been a good trap card. Since set 1, -3, -3 for something is still very, very powerful. I feel like it's even stronger in Genesis because you can just set it down and wait to use it. Cybernetic Recall. If you're so scared of Torque decks, find a way to sideboard this in. It costs 2, and you return all 1 cost back to your hand. Next thing we have, Entering the Gambit is really good for diminished players. If you are a diminished player, Entering the Gambit is very, very good. I feel like diminished is still a good deck, but it's just not there yet. Genesis Oppressor is a very good card, very high cost card, but if you play in the Genesis deck, this card is extremely powerful and very hard to deal with. And then I Am Creation, again, if you're playing Genesis or you play any kind of blue deck, I feel like you're ramping enough. This card is good. I would say the biggest thing you ever need to worry about is a Machina player playing Haven and I Am Creation. If they're playing both, it'll get a little tricky because I Am Creation can still ramp, but gets around the weaknesses of Haven. And then last but not least, really good blue card to have right now is Lefty Side Stand. And then, of course, where is it? I feel like Main Street Intercepting is a very good 3 cost card to be playing in this particular meta because it's a 3/3 with interception, and you pay 2 blue, you can draw a card. This card is very strong in things like Genesis. I feel like it's something everybody should take a look at. All right, green we already touched on a little bit earlier, but Plague Spagger, that's not how you say it. I don't even know how to say. I don't know how to speak anymore. Age of Alphas is a terrible card. Please do not play this card in your deck. Because I'm sorry, if you play Age of Alphas, you deserve to lose. Because why are you playing 5? Don't play this card. All night live stream? Nah, not today. It's a Monday. Deafening Soundwave is a very good alternative to Plague Embrace if you don't have it. Um, it is a 3 cost, so it costs exactly the same. But it counterattacks prevent all clash damage that will be dealt during this clash. And then you can pick one. Target player discards 1 card, or target player may only declare 1 more attack this turn. This is a very powerful card to have. Another powerful card to have is Dragon Helm. How I said before, Dragon Helm with Ancient Power is a beautiful thing to have because you can banish cards and they can never get them back. Dreadful Decimation, if you're playing Heavy Harbingers, you definitely want to play this card. There's no reason not to play a 2 cost trap that -6/-6 from a card. If you're scared of, oh, the Kagen play, oh my god, the Kagen play, just Dreadful Decimation it. It's gone. So again, this should be in your sideboard or it should be in your main. If you're playing Harbingers, you should play this card. I know some people like to use Fight Another Day. Again, I feel like this is all about timing. If you play this on the wrong card, that's your fault. Grasp of Power, I guess is okay. I Am Decay is I feel like won't be really good yet. And then we are talking about Plague Spreader Embrace, which again is a 3 cost card that will basically make your opponent either discard 2 cards or send their class card that's being played to Oblivion. And then the last good card, and I'm just going to search for it, especially for green, is going to be Vile. The reason why Vile is so good is a card that can just sit there the whole game, and then when you're ready to play it, you can go ahead and rest the card. So say you want to go for game, and let's say they have a lone fighter out. You can then take that lone fighter, rest it, and then swing over everything. So again, I find this another card. If you have any kind of green or any kind of room for it, definitely fit this into your deck because this card would literally save you. Red, red really doesn't need any introduction because it's red. We pretty much know what's all in here. You have Warrenhorn. I feel like Calcium War is another good card if you want to draw as a pot of greed, basically. It works very, very well. Actually, it works very well in Death. Again, essentially you can draw 3 cards off this card and continue getting value for it. Crimson Skeleton, you need to look out for it. Deflect is another card you need to really look out for it too as well. Energy Absorption, get rid of them when you see it. Energy Blast, get rid of it when you see it. Another nice little spicy tech card, if you really want to do it, is Flare Pyroclasmic Guardian. So what this does is when it deals class damage to opponent's contender, you create one red Nova token. But the Nova tokens get if damage will be dealt to your contender, you may send this card to Oblivion to prevent one of the damage. So essentially, if you start getting Nova tokens out, you can send them to reduce damage. This is a nice card to kind of keep you in the game. It's really, really cheeky. I like it. Grasp of War is a card that I feel like people need to start playing more because I know a lot of people are like, oh, but if it has 7 damage, it doesn't kill it. If it has 6, it doesn't kill it. Okay, but you're doing 5 damage to a card, 9 times 10 is going to be defeated. So again, Grasp of War is a nice card to have in there, and it only requires 1 red pip, so you can splash this into almost any deck you play. Heat Up Battle is still a good card. Command Blast is still a good card. And then Machina Master of Metal, with so much more accessories now, this card can come very, very strong very quickly. So that is what we're looking at. But I don't know. If you watch the back on replay, leave in the comment section down below what other things you could think of. Again, this is what I'm thinking about. I would say it's time to start building your sideboard to actually deal with the meta. And let me go ahead and let me log in first. I realize I'm not logged in. And I will show everyone. Oh my God, why am I not logging in? Okay, there we go. I don't want to show my decks. I do have some decks here I'm not showing off yet. All right, but say if I'm going to go ahead and play in Clash Comp. This is what I would dabble with when building my deck. So again, let's say I'm on Genesis and I'm on blue, green, black Genesis. Those are my colors. And I know what I'm going to deal with. I want to kind of build a sideboard to deal with the meta. So I'm going to go all white. I'm gonna add. I want to add white to it. So I'm gonna start off by adding some bound cards that work with what I want to do. So right now, let's say my bound cards in my deck. I'm already running Apex is in the main board, and then I have Lord Krung in the main board. But I want to be able to still capitalize use some black card, but I want to use some white. I don't really have no red. Blue red is good too. So I'm going to go ahead, cool. I have green cards in the deck. I can either add Kilimanjaro, I'm sorry, I can add Kagan, or I can add Shadowlight. Either one of these two cards would be perfectly fine. So I would say I'll go ahead and add one Kagan and one Shadowlight to the sideboard. All right, perfect. So that's my sideboard. That's the beginning of my sideboard. I have access to the colors that I need. Next up, what white cards can I use to really help me out in this meta? I'm not running any weapons in the deck, so I really can't use Ancient Power. But you know what? Maybe I need a little bit more defense, or maybe I want to get a little more health. So, what cards can I add in here that really does that? So, I have a couple different options here. I can add in some control situations, which I might do because again, it's a trap that can be played from my resource, and I can use it at the right time. So I'll go ahead and add 2 copies of that in here. Now I'm at 4. Okay, perfect. So that's how I'm going to kind of deal with cards that come in that I kind of don't want to attack that turn. I know I can swing over on my next turn. And then okay, I will have Earthly Barricade to kind of protect some of my cards. I'll put 1 in there. Okay, I'm at 5. Now I really have to think about my next matchups. And think about, okay, cool. I have some stuff here to give me some whites. And I'm playing right now. I am like, cool, Shelllight's not good. I thought I'd be good with the 1 Kagen. And all these ones only require 1 pip. And I can easily grab them and add them in at any given time. So I'm back down to 4. Saw you coming. I want to have I have an issue with dealing with, maybe I don't want to deal with a lot of, Kagens coming in. Then I look at my deck. I have some trigger enter effects, but I actually don't have a lot. I have a lot more trigger defeats. So now I'm looking at it. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and add in 2 copies of Interfere with the Process. Now I'm at 6. Okay, I know Interfere with the Process. I can really block down and lock up trigger interface with this card. So I have that in here. Again, I have enough cards to really counteract to play the white. I can play it from my hand or I can play it from my resource. I'm pretty much good to go on that. So I'm dealing with a lot of threats. Now, my next thing is I say I do run black. Okay, for my Machina matchup, I don't want to deal with a lot of those weapons. So again, I'm going with how I've been preaching with the whole night is I want to go ahead and add in those Death Overseers. So I might add 2 in. Perfect. So again, when I get those out, I can banish those cards at the right time. And then I'm thinking, okay, I already have some of these cards in my main board. I kind of want to deal with it. You know what? I might add in 1 copy of I Am Demise, just so again I need a little bit more removal. And then I'm thinking, okay, what else can I do to kind of counteract the boom play? I'm not really too worried about the boom play, so I'll move on from the boom play. And last but not least, I want one more white card. I mean, one more green card to really deal with anything I might not see coming. And that is, what if I deal with a lot of Harbinger decks? I don't have a lot of defense against Harbinger decks. You play a lot of Harbingers, or I play in a mirror match. What can I do to get really around that? Gotcha would be good, but I don't not too worried about traps. I can play around that. So I am going to use 1 copy of This Is My World. And the reason I use This Is My World is a counterattack. If the portal is open, return the X target engaged clash cards from the play into their owner's hand. Then you may activate the portal. So I can use this on myself to get around Boom, or I can use it to put stuff back in their hand. And again, Genesis wants to play a lot from resource, so I can get rid of that stuff. So I'll put 1 copy in. So then this would be my sideboard. So again, we can take a look at it. This is what my sideboard would kind of look like, and this is what I feel like sideboard should look like going forward. Is yes, you want consistency, but what are your tech pieces are going to be? What can you use to really help you out with the matchups? And again, these bound cards add in so much flexibility. So again, I'm already running black, so I know I can run Death Overseer pretty fine in my deck without really changing anything out. I can just side out a couple. I mean, I can side out some sharpshooters, put those in. Control the situation. I can probably move some things in, and then in the process, I can move those in, and then Earthly Barricade. Maybe this might come out. Maybe I might put in one more This is the World. Maybe I will put in one more I Am Demise. That's the fun part about it, and this is how I feel like you'll do the most success with going into Clash Count. I hope everyone watching really enjoyed this breakdown. My throat is very tired from all of this, but I had fun doing this, get people really ready. And again, if you're at ClashCon, you want to sit down with me and we go over your decks before the main event, I have no problem with doing that with you guys. I love this community. I love sharing my insight on this. And I love just telling people, this is how I see the game. This is how you can be very successful at the game. Again, you have people like Hamilton who comes up with the best deck for him. What makes him a little bit harder is how he, play against different decks. But again, he believes in his deck and he knows how his deck is built to deal with different matchups. And that's the biggest thing is it goes all the way into that sideboard. And again, thank you everybody for coming through. Drop a heart like I'm on my way out. But this has been Ryotin. I love all you guys. No pause. But before I go, if I play the Clash Con, this is what I'll be playing. I'll be playing Conquest. And this will be my build. But shh, don't tell anyone because this has been Railton, and I just gave you. I'm showing everyone the sauce right now. I wonder who's going to clip this because this deck right here is powerful. Ask Jay Crane how many times I hit him in one turn.